As the years passed, the family grew stronger, their bonds more unbreakable. Euluma, Paul, and Barnabas, though once divided by love, had come together to form a family that was nothing short of extraordinary. They had found a rhythm in their shared lives, their hearts intertwined by both the pain of the past and the joy of the present. Euluma had always been a woman of strength, but the challenges she faced with her health had worn her down. Still, her love for Barnabas and the children kept her going. She dedicated her life to nurturing the family, ensuring that each child was loved and cared for. Despite her struggles, she found peace in the role of a mother, something she had longed for. And as time went on, Barnabas, too, stepped up, being the steadfast partner she needed. He had always been protective of her, but now, more than ever, he became her rock. Paul, though emotionally scarred from his past with Euluma, had found his own redemption in his marriage to Grace. His love for her was unyielding, but a part of him remained tethered to the memories of Euluma. He often found himself quietly reflecting on the days when they were together, the times they shared, and the love they once had. Yet, he knew that life had moved on, and he had to embrace the family he had built with Grace. When Grace passed away, Paul's world crumbled once again. Her sudden departure left an emptiness in his heart that he hadn't expected. But in the midst of his grief, he found solace in the children she had left behind. He knew that he had to step up as a father figure for them, just as Euluma had done for her own children. The pain of losing Grace was immense, but it also gave Paul a renewed sense of purpose. Euluma's generosity and love for her late sister never faltered. She cared for Grace's children as if they were her own. The bond between her and the children grew over time, and they soon called her Mummy, a term of endearment that soothed her heart in ways she never imagined. She never wanted to replace Grace, but in her own way, she became a guiding force in the children's lives, teaching them love, kindness, and the importance of family. Barnabas, ever devoted to Euluma, stood by her side, supporting her through the sleepless nights and the challenges of raising children who weren't biologically his own. But it didn't matter to him. They were family, and that was all that mattered. He loved Euluma with everything he had, and together, they forged a new life. They had endured the pain of betrayal, the anguish of loss, but in each other's arms, they found healing. The family was often joined by the older generation, Peter and Amaka, Barnabas and Euluma's parents. Their arrival into the home brought a sense of unity and nostalgia. The presence of the elderly couple served as a reminder of the roots from which the family had grown. Peter and Amaka shared their wisdom, their stories, and the guidance with the younger generation. It was a time of reflection and learning, and though they had their share of difficulties, the love between them all was evident. One evening, as Euluma sat by the window, watching the sunset with her children around her, she reflected on how far they had come. From the confusion and pain of her relationship with the twins, to the loss of Grace, to the healing they had all gone through, it seemed as though they had all emerged from the darkness into a place of light. The house that once felt empty with grief was now filled with laughter, love, and a sense of belonging. As the years turned into decades, the family witnessed both triumphs and tribulations. Yuluma's health continued to decline, but her love for her children and her unwavering commitment to her family kept her going. She had become the matriarch of this unconventional family, holding them all together with her wisdom and affection. Barnabas, now the head of the household, took on the responsibility of ensuring that Yuluma's legacy lived on. And then there was Paul, who, despite the complexity of his relationships, found peace in the family he had helped create. Though his heart still carried the scars of his past, he had come to accept the love that had always been there for him. He no longer felt the need to escape from the past or dwell on what could have been. Instead, he chose to live in the present, cherishing the family that had become his. Life continued in this shared home, where love, loyalty, and the echoes of the past coexisted in harmony. The children of Yuluma, Barnabas, and Paul grew up knowing the importance of family. They saw how their parents had endured hardship and how they had made sacrifices for one another. And in their own lives, they carried forward the lessons of love and devotion that had been passed down to them. One day, as Yuluma lay on her deathbed, surrounded by her loved ones, she smiled softly. The pain of the past had been long forgotten, replaced with a profound sense of gratitude. She had spent her life loving and being loved, and though her health had faltered, her spirit remained strong. She knew that her family would continue to thrive, that they would continue to cherish the lessons of unity and forgiveness that she had instilled in them. "Promise me," Yuluma whispered to Barnabas, "that you will keep them together. That you will love them as much as I loved you." Barnabas, with tears streaming down his face, nodded. "I promise, Yuluma. I will never let them go. I will love them, just as you loved me." Answer. With those words, Yuluma passed on peacefully, her heart filled with contentment, knowing that her family would continue to thrive and carry her legacy forward. The story of Yuluma, Paul, and Barnabas became a tale told for generations. A story of love, betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption. A story of how family can endure even the deepest wounds, and how love, in all its forms, can heal and unite. Through the years, their memory lived on, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, love will always find a way.